Hey Coastline family, I'm just taking a few minutes to hit pause and to be out enjoying creation. It's actually a lot windier than I thought it would be, so this would be pretty funny if I record this video and then you can't actually hear what I'm saying, but I'm trusting that we're okay. Maybe you're a key worker at this time. Maybe you've got kids running around at home, or maybe you're still working full-time from home. Maybe you've been battling with illness and loss, and so you don't feel like there's much different at this time, but just that there's added pressure. But I really hope that this speaks to you too, because we're all living at a time where the world has hit a universal pause button. Don't you just love that everyone's out enjoying the sunshine? We've hit this universal pause button, and what makes that significant is the time that we live in, where everything is sped up so much. But obviously it's not all a bad thing, because it means that we can stay connected in this new online reality. But I think we all know and we feel that life is just so hurried and so busy a lot of the time. I've been listening to a podcast, the Bema podcast, which actually Sarah introduced me to, and I know a couple of other people maybe listen to, but I've been revisiting Genesis 1, and something that sticks out in Genesis 1 is this refrain of evening and morning. At the end of each day, we read evening and morning, and so it was the first day. Evening and morning, the second day, the third day, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth days. Now, the people that would have heard this for the first time would have been the Israelites at Mount Sinai, having just come out of Egypt into the desert. And what's significant for them is that having come out of Egypt, where they were slaves making bricks 7 days a week, all they were used to was production. And so the ideology that they would have lived into is that their value and their worth were in how many bricks they could produce every day. And of course, what sticks out to us is that evening and morning are kind of the other way around here to what we're used to. We get up in the morning and we finish the day in the evening, but we discover that the Jewish day begins with evening and then goes into morning. The Jewish day doesn't begin with production, but with rest. Because God is saying to the Israelites at that time that you need to learn to stop, to take a break, to Sabbath, to get in tune with yourself and the God who loves you and says you have infinite value and worth, and that once you're created, creation is not only good, but it's now very good. Not because of what you do, but because of whose you are and who you are. We're seeing a real renaissance in the last few years of material on spiritual formation. I think particularly of John Mark Comer's The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And that's timely for us as well in this lockdown moment. It's really been speaking to me, because my greatest struggle at this time is actually learning to slow down and not be drawn into my default of doing, but actually learning how to be. Because much like the Israelites, we are a culture that's wrapped up in this Egyptian narrative of production. Am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Do I have enough? Do I produce enough? Do I impress enough to be the thing that I think that I have to be? So at this time where we have this universal reset and re-evaluation, we also interestingly have this epidemic of boredom, where people are so used to the ongoing production and doing that people don't know what to do and how to be. Personally, my mind is always going. There's so many things that I want to do in this time, but I'm actually trying to slow down and to live in the moment and to enjoy quality time and work out how God has wired me and where I thrive and where I come alive. And on day 7, of course, God takes a break. Is it because God's physically tired from all the creating he's been doing? Of course not. God rests to stop and step back and to enjoy his creation. And he invites us into the same. You'll notice that we don't have an evening and morning refrain at all in the seventh day, because God is inviting us into that. He says that you need to know how to stop, how to Sabbath, and how to join me in enjoying creation. So this might not feel like a break to you, but at least being removed from the rushing around, what discovery is God inviting you into? How can you stop and invite him into the pause with you, where you know that you're very good in who you are, and maybe what God might be wanting to show you about your loves and your longings and how he's made you. And as you step back, what creation can you enjoy today? This is what I'm enjoying. It's glorious, and being in creation definitely connects me closer to my Creator. So I hope you're well. It's really great to be able to connect with you at this time, and I hope you're safe and you're getting that time alone with God. Have a great week.